Hi Pisces, welcome back to As Above, So Below Healing Tarot, where you are the magic baby. This is going to be a reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus Pisceans. My name is Tiffany, and welcome to spooky season. We are on the other side of the 4th, and now it's go time. I celebrate spooky season year round, but it feels so good when it's next, you know? All right, some astrology forecasts. We've got on July 7th, Neptune retrograde in Aries. And this is all about your identities are becoming clearer. You're really sinking into the person who you feel you are at your soul level. This is also very much really aligned with trust. I was also hearing a lot about co-creating with spirit and weaving your web with intentionality. And then we have on July 9th, Venus enters Virgo, which is all when relationships become more intentional, become more harmonious, and you may be clearing up some things in relationships with a certain relationship, with people. But I feel like you are really starting to ask the deeper questions about the people around you and really just kind of sink deeper into the relationships with that. But we're going to be doing a reading for my beautiful Pisceans. We've got the Halloween Oracle, of course. Been rocking this one all summer. So let's see what's going on for my Pisces. Pisces, winter. The sacredness of pausing. Okay. Yep. And this is actually very common and needed when your soul needs to slow down and to begin to reintegrate or recalibrate. We're also in Mercury retrograde right now. So there's a need to slow down, to really come back into yourself and ask yourself those soul questions and reevaluate where you are going next. It really feels like your soul is recalibrating. That's the best way that I can say it. And you need time for this becoming, is what I'm hearing. So I'm going to get some psychic cards. And this is a version that I feel isn't really represented on the outside. I really think that you are being your most authentic self right now. We have the waiting game. Yeah, so it feels like the time around you is just kind of, pausing, and it's for your new vibration to catch up. It almost feels like you are, it feels like you're driving a car or riding a bike for the first time, and you're like, how do I use all of these gears? Like, this is a new model. What do I do? But it feels like you are really starting to also get grounded and rooted in your legacy. I feel like a lot of people may be changing careers right now. Really big changes are coming up for a lot of people, and it's really asking you which route is going to be most sustainable in the future. And then you have accelerated motion underneath the deck. So again, I feel like there is a bit of a pause here, but it's an integrated and an intentional pause. So all right, let's get into the tarot, shall we? All right, Spirit, please help me in delivering the most magical messages for my Pisces collective. And Pisces, if these messages resonate with you, please like, share, subscribe. And if you would like a personal reading, hypnotherapy, Reiki, or hypnosis, or if you're in the Charleston, South Carolina, Somerville area, the link for that is in the description box below. So, all right, Pisces, whoa, you have a lot of, wow, a lot of closing. I knew the Magician was gonna come out. Oh my God. Pisces, you are weaving your web of intentionality. You have the World, you have the 8 of Wands, you have the Wheel of Fortune, and you have the Magician. This is big, life-changing energies right here. So the World is often about completing a cycle, really letting the past behind you. But I feel like you are simultaneously shedding an old identity and becoming a new one. And that is going to set you up on an accelerated trajectory in your life, and you have the Magician here. So this is all about what you are creating, what you are manifesting, where your magic is really being directed towards. And I think you're seeing it happen in real time. A lot of those of you who do spell work, you're like, holy shit, my spell does work, you know? And you're actively, intentionally creating with your magic. And it's surprising you every single day. And some of you may be stepping more into your magic. You may be really trusting where spirit is leading you. And by living authentically, that shit is contagious. And you are really starting to be in that Queen of Wands energy and allow yourself to be seen, to be happy, to be shining, where otherwise I feel like you were in spaces that didn't allow you to shine or didn't want you to grow as much as you did. You do have the Devil underneath at the bottom of the deck, but you do have the Ten of Wands behind that. So I think that you are really releasing, again, simultaneously releasing the old stories that you used to tell yourself about betrayal, about worthiness, about not being good enough for something. And a lot of you are letting go of certain relationships or the thought of certain relationships that kept you attached and chained. But this can also be about you keeping yourself attached to the old identity of who you used to be, because it's very scary. It disrupts the ego when you choose something different than what it's familiar with. And that's okay. That is okay. And it's okay to admit that you're a little uneasy, but you are trusting that where you're being guided is somewhere amazing. Spirit, what's going on with this Magician? High Priestess! Oh, this is one of my favorite combinations right here. This is pure fucking magic, Pisces. I love this. This is just making me so happy. So you are doing the work internally. You are the seer, you are the psychic, and you are really ruling the unconscious right now. And you're actively manifesting from that space. And that is pure fucking magic. I love this. So you are alchemizing your inner and outer worlds. A lot of you are going into deeper healing spaces, and you are then maybe going on the other side and saying, I want to help do this for other people. And you're really being more intentional with your everyday routine. You're being intentional about the things that you are creating. And this combination is just magical. And you're the seer. You see without seeing. You hear without hearing. You sense and you know. And moving forward, that is where you are operating from. And Pisces, I really do feel like you're wielding the lessons from painful situations, and you are really diving into your subconscious. This is kind of shadow worky too. You're diving into your subconscious, and you're really looking at the beliefs that you hold, and you're saying, where did this come from? Who told me that I wasn't good enough to do X, Y, and Z? Or, what societal norm am I carrying that tells me that I can't be magical, that I can't be a witch, that I can't be, X, Y, and Z, whatever. And a lot of you are also, I'm hearing, opening up to a different sexuality, or you are, non-binary. And a lot of that is you're coming to terms with that. And that is a beautiful space. It can feel a little, kind of like shaky, especially if your soul is wanting to have a new avatar, but this feels so authentic and so you, and you really are demolishing old beliefs, and you are really riding on that. And people are watching. People are like, how are they building this life right now? How is this possible? You know, but keep your secrets, keep your energy protected and safe. You have resistance here. So I feel like a lot of you may be resistant to being seen in something, resistant to be known as something. And I challenge you to ask why and where that's coming from. And if you really don't know, I suggest hypnotherapy. It could be a past life wound, it could be a past life something, or go back to childhood and really look at the things people told you, or even your family's values. A lot of you are breaking away from traditional structures, so church, or something where you're needing to be bold and courageous right now. You have communicate. Yeah, so using that throat chakra. And wolves are very loyal. They're pack leaders, and you, I feel, are being known for something different in the community. You are being known as a leader, and I think that some of you are having to, that's where that resistance may be, is some of you have this idea or this belief that you are a novice, when in reality you are meant to shine. You are meant to teach how you're doing the things that you're doing. And that can be across the board. That can be any sort of industry. That could be, in the workplace, wherever you put it, where it goes. But I really feel like you are a shining example of what it means to be authentic. So I'm going to let me see here. I want to do some of the spirit. What else is growth? Look at that. That looks like hypnotherapy to me. Yep. So growth, you are growing. You are, again, becoming something new. Water, death, and home. So some of you may be moving, you may be moving close to water. That could very well be just the literal point of it. But I feel like you are also, you're letting your intuition guide you in this next phase of life, and you're trusting that even more. And for a lot of you, I'm also getting like that you are not so much trusting your 9-to-5 anymore, or you are asking deeper questions about, what do I want to be doing in my, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. You're really looking at the experiences that you want to have and what you ultimately want your soul to experience in this lifetime. And that takes a lot of inner work. And I feel like you are really growing and you are becoming a master at that, Pisces. So again, some of you may be, again, going to school for psychology or going to school in general. You have Athena. You know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. I feel like a lot of you are learning right now. The owl spirit may be around you a lot, and owls are all about wisdom. They're also very intense predators, so they go after what they want. They can even take down some small hawks. They're intense. And they really do rise above and observe situations before swooping down. So, a lot of you are really, your energy is focused on growth. Your energy is focused on wielding your magic and to move into a period of your life where you are just looking around and you're like, holy shit, I built all of this. And some of you already are doing that, and you're sinking deeper and deeper and deeper into it. And you are paving the way for a lot of people to do the same. I'm seeing like a ripple effect. and more people may be coming to you for what you do. You may be known as something in your community, but there's a lot of growth and a lot of depth here, Pisces. So keep going, keep doing the thing, keep persisting. This is amazing. So, all right, Pisces, thank you so much for being here. I will see you on the next one. And remember, you are the magic.